I am engaged with metal for more than half of my life now. As a musician, as a visitor of numerous gigs, as a reviewer, and of course as a fan who just listens to music. Obviously, the last category is where the most time has been spent. Over the years, this did not only divide the bands I got to know in the categories like and dislike, including all shades of grey in between, but the biggest category that evolved can be named bands I did not yet had the time to listen to. Necrophobic is one of those bands. The name came to my attention over and over again, but for some unknown reason I skipped them. This has obviously changed now. When I stumbled over the latest release, Mark of the Necrogram, I was attracted by the cover artwork in the first place, to be honest. It just looks as if it has been time warped out of the 90s into 2018. Thus, the question is if this only holds for the artwork or are some similar tones on the record. Yeah, first of all, this album does not win an award for innovation. It's not boring at all, but there are just no elements where I thought that they add something new to the death metal genre. Nonetheless, the whole album is fun. For me, it's really that simple. From the first second to the last, I felt entertained, and it also kept me smiling because of that. Basically, that's what a good record is about. It has to do something with us, make us think, laugh, or whatever. But enough pseudo-philosophical bullshit. Let's get back to the record. Some records take some time at the beginning to slowly advance towards their central attitude. Mark of the Necrogram, however, is the opposite. It starts fast and aggressive. Blast beats and melody right at the beginning. That's what I call a statement, actually. It's a statement that roughly shows in which direction the band will go for the next almost 50 minutes. In general, the song alternates between aggressiveness and groove in a well-rounded manner. The second song, Odium Casum, sorry if I just mispronounced it, then fuses melodic mid-tempo riffs with parts that were gloriously old school. So if you like stuff like Asphyx's The Rack, you should not be disappointed here. However, even if the old school character is very strong from time to time, those riffs blend nicely together with more modern melodic parts of the song. So if you also like this, the song Pesta will be for you. Melodies generally play a stronger part on this record. There's not only one song where they are absent, which of course can be easily done on a death metal record. The real challenge is to put melody in this aggressive kind of music without creating the feeling that one is listening to power metal with low-tuned guitars and growl vocals. At least for me personal, not many bands are capable of doing this today. Forcing melodic parts into a song ruins it on a regular basis. Thus, I'm glad that I never had the feeling here. Thank you, Necrophobic. There are two more songs I would like to bring to your attention. First is Requiem for a Dying Sun. It's the slowest song on this record, and it's a combination of sluggish and mid-tempo groove parts. The typical metal noun to describe it would be neck breaker. I assume that this can be a highlight for upcoming live shows. As I said in the beginning, this record won't win an innovation award, but in one riff at least, the band flashes some progressive guitar work. Maybe it would not be bad to include some more like that in future releases. However, I think this would only work if it is used like a strong spice. Use only a little bit if you don't want to destroy the characteristics of the whole meal. The other song I'd like to point my finger at delivers a nice description of its own in the title. Tsar Bomba. In the real world, it was the biggest explosion ever created by man. An equivalent of 50 to 60 million tons of TNT and a shockwave that traveled around the Earth more than 2 times. On this record, however, it's my absolute favorite. It has an insane amount of groove and the catchiest and best chorus by far on the record. Every time I listen to the song, I have to shout alongside it, at least when I'm alone. So I personally can't find a better sign of liking for a song than this. And to conclude this review, if you are more on the American and modern tech side of death metal things, you should at least be careful with this record. It may not be for you. If you, however, like your death metal Scandinavian, groovy and a bit old schoolish, you probably won't do anything wrong. So please take this as a strong recommendation to check Marker of the Necrogram specifically and Necrophobic in general, if you haven't already. Thank you for your time, and cheers.